Budgie Diet Info: What to feed your feathered friend. The budgie diet you choose should be initially based around what they would naturally eat, then adapted to their more sedentary life. The closer to natural that you can get their lifestyle, the better off they will be. A good diet will provide for them nutritionally, mentally stimulate them and work their beacon bodies. They will also be able to easily absorb nutrients and deal with the wastes more efficiently than if they were trying to process something alien to their digestive system. As you know, budgies in the wild feast on various eating grasses, leaves, buds, fruit, bark and insects. This requires landing on the ground, on grass stems and branches. It means they need to climb and hunt for seeds, rummaging through leaves and seed heads to find the seeds. So how do we replicate that budgie diet and lifestyle without sending them back to the Australian grasslands? Watch the whole video and you'll find out. Dietary basics. Your budgie diet should be made up of pretty even proportions of good quality seed and veggies, greens, and fruit, with a quality protein source and additives as needed. Many people veer away from seed as it can and often is used to create an unhealthy bird, but if seed was not appropriate for your budgie, then it would not be their natural diet. Wild budgies flourish and breed on what they find on the grasslands, so yours can too. You just have to adjust for the fact that your birds are doing only a fraction of the exercise that they would be doing in the wild whilst having a more limited menu. This means you really need to be providing plenty of fresh foods, not just a dry seed mix. Dry, mature seeds contain protein, carbohydrates, fats and some micronutrients, all necessary things. However, seed heads growing on the grasslands have a different makeup with more vitamins and different types of protein, etc. One way to mimic this is the regular feeding of soaked sprouted seed. Once soaked, the seed kicks into growth mode and begins transforming itself to provide everything a growing plant needs to survive. This increases the variety of nutrients available to our budgies. So, seed, both dry and sprouted, and vegetables/greens is a good start, but it is still not enough to provide for a healthy bird. The main issue is that seed and greens are all plants, and so cannot provide the complete range of amino acids the birds need. Amino acids line up like strings on a bead to create proteins. Each type of protein has its own recipe. If a certain amino acid is missing, the birds cannot make any of the proteins that require it. Protein is required for all muscle, organs, feathers, to produce enzymes, hormones, etc. There are many types of proteins and they all have important uses. If your budgie lacks the nutrients to build a protein, they will scavenge from their own body to get the necessary amino acids. For this reason, a poorly balanced diet results in weaker, less healthy birds. Some amino acids are found in only low amounts in seeds, sprouted or otherwise. In an effort to get enough of this amino acid, a bird will eat much more than they would otherwise do. This contributes to the obesity that can happen even when budgies are provided with regular vegetables. They will eat an unbalanced diet, even if provided with plenty of options, in an effort to get the amino acids they need. So, how can we easily provide them with all the amino acids? Protein from animal sources has the full range of amino acids and so are a vital part of our budgies' diet. They provide the missing nutrients from an all-plant diet. If you wanted to achieve a balanced plant-only diet for your budgie, it is possible, with a significant amount of research, but as they eat animal protein in the wild, it is a less natural option. Eggs are an easy and very nutritious source of high-quality protein, and this is why you so often see mixes called egg food or egg biscuit for cage birds. In the wild, your budgie would find insects and other available animal protein sources as needed. In an aviary situation, a budgie that dies is often chewed on by the others as an easily available protein source, and a broken feather that bleeds will be chewed on by its owner. So, the plan is to provide a good base of seeds and vegetables/greens, and an animal-based protein source. You also need to think about supplements to balance out vitamin and mineral requirements. It is easy to get carried away with more than a pet budgie needs, so we will discuss how to sprout budgie seeds. Sprouting seed. Place some of your seed mix in a container and cover with water, and leave overnight. Tip the seed into a sieve and rinse thoroughly under a running water. Leave the seed in the sieve in a cool place. It is rinsed each day and left to drain. The first day it is just soaked, but by day 3 or 4 it has a small root growing. Each stage of this provides different nutrients. The highest level of nutrients is just as the tip of the root first breaks out of the seed. It is important that the sprouted seed doesn't ferment or become moldy, as this may make your budgie ill. You can feed the seed over a few days, but make sure to rinse it each day and keep it in a cool place. It may be necessary to keep the soaked seed in the fridge in hot weather. Using a bird-safe disinfectant such as Aviclans is a good idea. It can be added to the sprouting water, rinse, and the bird's general drinking water. It controls microbial growth, bacteria, yeasts, etc., but is quickly broken down in the digestive tract, so does not harm the bird's necessary gut flora and fauna. The sprouted seed will have a live smell, but if it begins to smell fermented, alcoholic, or moldy, then please throw it out. Bacteria or mold can cause serious health issues, especially for baby birds. If the seed does not begin to sprout at all, then it is dead. Find another source if possible. Let's talk about greens. Just as fresh leafy greens are good for us, they are good for our birds also. In spring, you can gather small bunches of seeding grasses at various stages of development, from still very green through to mature dry seeds still on the stalk. You can also feed various weeds such as chickweed, dandelion, and shepherd's purse. Of course, in Australia, budgies also chew on eucalyptus trees, so if you can find a branch or two of it, they will appreciate it. From your garden, you can feed them silver beet, broccoli, whole carrots including the green tops, apple, orange, etc. The main thing is to make sure that the food is not sprayed with anything toxic, and not picked from a roadside where it can accumulate car fumes, and check what it is so you can be sure it is not poisonous. Also, feed the whole, unwashed plant if possible. Budgies often love to pick at the soil on the roots. Offer your birds something interesting each day and vary it so they learn to try out new foods. Sometimes they will ignore new food. Keep offering it until they give up and try some. You can also try sprinkling a few seeds onto it so they have a nibble. Foraging. Place their seed in a low flat dish on the base of the cage. It needs to be placed away from their usual pooping spots to reduce the risk of spoiling. This way birds need to fly down to the ground, the natural place for feeding, to get their main meal. It means that instead of just fluttering from perch to perch, they need to exert effort to fly down and back up again a few times a day. It is important to blow off the seed husks if you use a tube/jar type feeder rather than an open dish. Your birds will starve if they can't get right in there and dig around to find seeds. You can also use horse chaff, chopped hay, on the floor of the cage. This may be a bit messy, but if you have a system for containing seed husks, then it should catch the chaff also. Budgies love to scurry about in the chaff searching for seed heads, chewing up stems and finding any seeds they kick out of the feed bowl. They expend quite a lot of energy in these activities, keeping them fit. Replace it when you refill the seed dish. It stays fairly fresh as they turn it over and mix it up each day. If there is any water spillage, though, it needs to be cleaned up as mold growth is a danger to the birds. Their greens get clipped to the side of the cage, or hung on a perch or toy so they can climb about to get to it. Seed heads are often laying on the top of the cage and they hang upside down, pulling it through the mesh to eat it. These foraging behaviors keep budgies active and mentally stimulated for much longer than they would otherwise be. They require physical and mental gymnastics and encourage social interactions. I think that using our imagination to encourage foraging like this is one of the best things we can do for our budgies' well-being. Thank you for watching this video, and we wish you a budgie that is healthy and that eats a proper diet. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first one to watch all the new videos. Budgie diet info: what to feed your feathered friend. The budgie diet you choose should be initially based around what they would naturally eat, then adapted to their more sedentary life. The closer to natural that you can get their lifestyle, the better off they will be.